President Trump is promising to crack down on immigration once again, including the asylum process after the shooting of 2 National Guardsmen in Washington this week. That happened because of an Afghan national in this country. Now, the deadly attack comes after a wave of demonization from the left of the brave men and women of the National Guard.
I don't think you have an armed militia in the nation's capital.
The president is attempting to send the National Guard to send and terrorize cities.
It makes me incredibly nervous that we're about to see people in law enforcement, people in uniform military get nervous, get stressed, shoot at American civilians.
Now, does that sound familiar? Listen to how they spoke about our immigration enforcement earlier this year.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
And these ICE agents running around our communities like masked bank robbers?
As somebody who understands history, when I see ICE, I see slave patrols.
People ask, well, is authoritarianism, you're being hyperbolic? Bull, we're being hyperbolic. If some guy jumped out of an unmarked car in a van with a mask on, tried to grab me, I mean, by definition, you're going to push back.
And we know attacks on CBP and ICE agents have skyrocketed. We are experiencing the real and deadly consequences of that dangerous rhetoric. U.S. Border Patrol Chief Agent Gregory Bovino joins me now. You know, Chief Bovino, this goes back to when I was White House press secretary, and we had agents in Portland back in 2020, and they were called the Gestapo. They were called all types of names. And I'm curious now, when you piece all this together, the attack in the Dallas ICE facility, the plot that was thwarted of a guy who wanted to attack ICE out in Vegas, when you piece this together, do you think J.B. Pritzker and some of the elected officials are realizing maybe the attacks on ICE officers, the threats posed by unvetted migration, are more of a concern than you and your federal agents trying to protect us?
Kylie, good morning, and thanks for having me. You know, when I look at the Pritzkers and the Newsoms and the Governor Steins there in North Carolina, perhaps there is a glimmer of hope that they may realize that. But, I'm still not hearing what I want to hear from those elected representatives to quell down this violence, to quell down what's happening on the streets. Kylie, oftentimes they will say something like the masked bank robbers that you just had on your earlier clip. They'll say something like that, and we'll hear it on the streets a mere few hours later. So they need to do a much better job in quelling down that rhetoric so that these National Guard members and law enforcement aren't put in jeopardy, which they are put in jeopardy now.
So that's an interesting point. So on the ground, because you've been on the ground in Chicago, and they've been chasing after you, how dare you stop people from using incendiary devices against your agent? But you hear some of the rhetoric from these left-wing politicians echoed on the streets?
It's amazing. Absolutely. It's like turning a light switch on and off, Kylie. In fact, in Charlotte, under Operation Charlotte's Web, our first 2 days of the operation were fairly peaceful until Governor Stein decided to call us racists and many other terms. It was like turning a light switch on. The next day, the violence started and it never abated. So these elected representatives and so-called community leaders, they do have an effect on those weaker-minded constituents. And I think that's the best way to term it, is there are a lot of weaker-minded individuals out there that fall victim to that type of speech. And I think these elected representatives know that. And that's what's most disturbing to me, is they know that these individuals are actually going to respond to what they're saying in a negative way. So blood is on the hands of many people, including those elected representatives.
So you've been in Chicago. Where will you be next?
Kylie, hold on to your hats. That's what I can say there, is hold on to your hats. It's going to get real. We're already in dozens of American cities, Border Patrol, ICE, and those allied law enforcement agencies, but we're going to continue our march to make this country a safer place, to make mom and pa much safer in their communities, because every community is a border community. So hold on to your hats. It's coming really quickly.
Well, I caught this exchange on CNN, and I want you to listen to this. You have Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife, arguing and making a fact that your arrests, the vast majority of illegal immigrants rounded up, have criminal history. On CNN, they insist that's not true. From the cozy Manhattan studio, listen to this.
We are removing every single illegal alien that's in this country. And I would say a majority of those who've been removed have had serious violent crimes.
That's not true.
Today in the New Yorker.
That's not true. I hope you want to quote Source saying that.
That is actually not true.
False.
Today in the New Yorker.
Demonstrably false.
Today in the New Yorker.
Based on DHS's own data, a majority of the people that they've detained have not had violent criminal records
that have been removed.
Chief Bovino, they're sitting in the comfort of a Manhattan studio, real nice in there. You're on the streets conducting these operations. Is it true that these guys don't have criminal records? You're rounding up innocent people?
Very untrue. Any illegal alien has broken the law, but let's take a look at those criminal records that those individuals were talking about, as you say, in that nice, comfortable studio. Those criminal records also include immigration violations as well. Reentry after deportation is a felony. Oftentimes, it doesn't seem that they want to talk about the reentry after deportation. That's definitely a felony. That's something I count and should be counted as a criminal record. So we go after some very bad people and bad things. And oftentimes, Kylie, what we're finding is when we apprehend other people in conjunction with that targeted enforcement, many of those individuals have significant immigration and or criminal histories. Sometimes between 60 and 70% of those general immigration sweeps will see illegal aliens with significant immigration and or criminal histories. It's quite amazing.
It's amazing, but the commentary class, they know better from that comfortable studio. Chief Patrol Agent Greg Bovino, thank you very much for your time.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.